Hey there gamers, welcome back to Banished Souls Cryptic Gaming here. So, playing Skull and Bones. Been asked a few times, what is a really good build for a solo player who doesn't have a team to play with? Well, I'm going to show you some of the builds that I'm using here. Now, you can find these build sheets in our ship build videos. I'm going to put those links in the description for you as well, folks, so it's going to be easier for you to find. So the first one here is the new Brig. Currently, this is a work in progress. Obviously, there's some new furnitures and stuff I want to get to continue to build this up. But so far, it's shaping up to be a very nice ship. I'm over here off the coast of Talak on the right-hand side, which would be the east side of it. And you travel up along here, you can find a lot of that crude saltpeter, and you can find a lot of shellac just farming these boats. That's a really good spot. You can see where I'm at here. Pretty easy to get to, not a whole lot to it. But I do not use this ship though for defenses yet because it is a little bit kind of squishy. I mean, just being honest about it, I think once we get those levels up, it's going to become a pretty nice ship. Using torpedoes on the front, and of course those new foul owl demis on the side. Definitely loving it. But I'm seeing that we've got a defense coming up, so I'm going to show you what I typically use in this game. This is my Sambuck. You're going to find the ultimate Sambuck build. It is a level 6 now, and I use this ship for just about everything, and it's great for solo play. So we're going to go down here, we're going to run a defense, and then we're going to travel over and actually hit a event, one of the world events. A lot of people seem to think you need to have multiple players for that. If you got a properly built ship, that is a thing of the past, man, since you've been able to run these upgrades. So again, make sure you check in the description. I'm going to have it set up for Sambuck builds, the Brig build, and of course we're going to show you our new battle bark. We get a lot of comments in, well, what you need to use is, I'm going to show you why I don't typically follow some of that advice. I have a certain play style. Now, obviously, we've sped this up for you just so you can get through this video. Man, this thing was going to be like almost an hour long. So we've got you in 3 times the speed. So definitely enjoy it while we're hammering out. As you see, this Sambuck, it does massive damage. So with this new Buccaneer's Oath armor, it's going to give it another 25%. Then, of course, we're using that megaphone on the furniture now, which is also consecutive shots. Is going to continue to build up those weapon abilities as well. Just massive DPS that it puts out. Now if you can get these ships close enough together, of course the blaze effect typically takes out the crowd control. You're going to get those ships that want to kind of ease back. They don't want to get too close to each other, and that's just something you got to deal with. But there's no reason you shouldn't be able to run a defense. This is a level 9 fort. Run my level 10s with it just fine too, so don't have any issues with that. It usually works out pretty nicely for me. Whenever you complete these defenses, you should be getting some little boxes and stuff. You get those new raider boxes sometimes. Sometimes those will have helm leases in there, or isle leases, so you can get those positions on the map that you can't seem to get to drop. You're going to be able to get those pretty easy. We're going to let you just finish watching this battle here, and then we're going to kick over there to that new event. So as you can see, it's doing great. So we're wave 4 of 5 now, just hammering these ships. The more ships you sink, the more hits you make connections on, you're going to be stacking that DPS as well, guys, with that megaphone. Definitely recommend putting that furniture on here. You don't really need the Lepest, the Potent schematic anymore, from what I'm seeing. It does massive damage to everything. That new Warhammer, that is going to rock any ships you come across, especially those Lepest ships. I mean, you're going to take them down pretty quick. And every now and then you're going to get hung up in a corner here. This happens sometimes when you are playing solo, trying to go back and forth. You just have to keep going back and forth, man. You do not want to be just kind of lollygagging around. You got to get in there and just tear those ships up. Okay, so wave 5. This seems to be the one that people seem to have the most problem with, wave 5. So I just want to show you what this ship build will do. So once we get that first sink, because it was about 30 seconds from that last wave to this wave. Alright, so now we've started a 30-second on increasing that to 25% extra damage. And I apologize if it's too fast for you. Like I say, this video was turning into a very long one because we're showing you 3 different ships that we use. Again, we're going to show those builds in the description that you can go to. There are videos up for different types of builds. These are the 3 current builds that I am currently using, man. And I am very happy with them. I know that you'll see a lot of people have certain type of furniture they like to use, certain types of weapons and stuff like that. And that's great. So, success, obviously. And we're on our way over here to this merchant fleet. It's a good way to go ahead and get that casting sand and things like that. And this is basically what I do. If I'm not playing with a team, I'm farming this stuff out solo. Play a lot of solo, play a lot with teams. So you should be able to solo just about anything in this game. Maybe not that new Blighted Bastion thing down below. They called it Serpent's Lair or Serpent's Grasp, something like that. But that's the one where you kind of need a few extra guys to really deal out some DPS on that. So definitely need team play on that. But when it comes to these types of missions here, you should be able to take these world events on your own by now if you're using the proper builds. I know there are a lot of people who don't like to use Discords or, you know, don't really have a lot of people to play with. So if you follow these build sheets and you get up in there with a Sambuck, guys, it is going to do massive, massive damage. There's a lot of people like to talk about, you know, getting the brace, you know, black prints and then putting those bracing stations and stuff like that on our rigging stations and all, so that you can just last through the battle. My recommendation, do as much damage as possible, as fast as possible. Get those ships off. And of course, anytime that you are given a crew boarding, use it. Board that ship, grab stuff, and move on to the next ship, as you're going to see us doing in this here. And again, man, I know it ended up turning out to be a lot faster video than I had intended, but, you know, as far as the speed here, but, like I say, man, there's going to be a lot of content here. So that is that Warhammer. That thing is just massive. I mean, you're looking at some of these fleets that are just melting down under that. Okay, so we have now, this is our second ship we've boarded. Looks like my space is getting kind of limited, so I will grab what I need off of it. And then, of course, get back into it and just finish sinking this last ship out. And it looks like he had a few escorts we're going to have to take out, so they should actually melt down pretty quick. It's up to you if you want to take the escorts out first. And the event is completed. And that's how you're going to do it. So let's take out these escorts here. And one more shot. Alright. So now the battle bark. Let's get down here to an area where we can switch our ship out. Now the battle bark is what I use when I am farming resources. The reason for that is it's pretty fast. It doesn't have as much as that wind negation when the wind hits you. It seems to be a little more resistant to that. Another thing with the battle bark is it's going to have those status heals. You've got extra cargo space that you don't have with the Sambuck, unfortunately. And even with the Brig, you're going to have a little bit more room using this battle bark. So on the front, we have those Piqueray, I believe they're called, the pest cannons. Does a great job in PvP, so I just left them on there because we might decide to do PvP later as well. And then, of course, our torpedoes on the side. These are the self-tracking torpedoes. You want to make sure that they're in the gray zone for those the torpedoes to actually track. If you're in the red or outside of it, it's line of sight. Okay, let's pop this guy a couple more here. We might actually drop a Warhammer on him. Yeah, let's use our Warhammer. So this ship is going to hang in there with you as you're coming along. A lot of different stuff. You're seeing we've got the helm ships, we've got DMC ships coming in. So what I'm doing here is a roving mission. This is to deliver the Blue Lotus opium and some other products and stuff. But what I do is I just come in, destroy the helm liaison. It's a lot quicker. You get to save your products for other things that may open up in the game later. Now, there are a few questions been having. People say, where do you get that furniture? Well, you got to be more specific in the questions, guys. If you're talking about the campaigny screens that I have on this ship, you're going to pick those up using those Sambuck bounties, the Sambuck twin bounties, and it's just a random drop. They said it's a very rare drop, is what they'd said before the season come out, and I just got lucky that it dropped on the first night. I know we went in today with the team to farm those things out in mass and swap boxes around and stuff, and as far as I know, there's only a couple other guys in our Discord that has actually got those, and those were some of the people that jumped in with first thing, and you can use that Sambuck build to solo those guys, no problem at all. Now, I expect they're going to get harder as the season pass progresses, because if it's anything like the past, we're going to see them in different locations in different situations as well. Then there are a lot of new furnitures over in the black market. I highly recommend that you go over there, check it out, see exactly what it is you're wanting, exactly what it is you're needing. Then, of course, these other little merchants, the world merchant missions and stuff like that, you're going to find things in those as well. You're going to get a lot of stuff for fighting these chorus fleets. Hammer that stuff out. You're going to get a lot of furnitures in those guys as well. Not every drop, but you're going to get good furniture from them when it does drop some. So it's just like it was season 1. I expect as season 2 progresses, you're going to see those drop rates get adjusted so you can get that gear that you're wanting. And some guys are just lucky and get it right off. I know that there was a few things I'm still looking for. We were able to trade around a little bit today and get some of those nice furnitures, such as the wine station, I think it is, or liquor station and stuff like that, which really helps with mitigating debris, and it's also going to help with torpedo damage and stuff like that. Really good stuff out there. But I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscription button. And again, check in the description. If you've seen a ship in here that you like and you want that build sheet on it, that's where you're going to find those builds. Have a wonderful evening.